Hello, Coach and Sia here, and I have disappeared from YouTube for a million years because I convinced myself that I would not post until I script out a whole plan, like I had a specific outline for what I wanted to say, but honestly that's never gonna happen. That's just really not my style. I'm more, okay, I don't wanna say never gonna happen, but if I keep waiting on that, it'll be another 5 years, okay? So I'm gonna move on. And I'm gonna do what I've always done on my YouTube videos, is do something, multitask while we chat, because life is busy. We all have stuff going on. You're probably multitasking too, so I hope you forgive me that I'm multitasking at the same time. I wanted to come on here because I was starting to do a little gabbing on Instagram, but I overran my time. And I realized, oh yeah, this is why I should be over here on YouTube, sharing what I'm trying to share about how I'm eating today. Now, what I wanted to add as context about this all is, if you don't know, I have ADHD. I actually forgot that I had done a whole reveal about my ADHD about 2 years ago now, and I was rewatching that yesterday because someone had kindly commented on it, and it was like this huge flashback to me about what a journey I've been on since my very emotional share about my ADHD. I can't believe, thank gosh I have these videos, because I forgot about what a big deal that was for me to share. Just got the hard-boiled eggs going. How big of a deal that was for me to share out loud that I had ADHD. I had been diagnosed for 10 years, but that was the first time that I shared it so publicly. I had people that I really care about knew, right? It was controlled who was a part of my inner circle, who understood and knew my whole story. But yeah, when I agreed to do social media to share my weight loss journey, I had planned to share, the whole truth. That's really a thing with me. If I start having to hide something, I really struggle to show up, because that's not part of my core values. I've recently learned my core values since I last did this video too. And my number one core value is truth. And I believe truth is my pathway, my love language, and how I am able to accept myself as well, by being honest with myself and my own journey and my life capabilities and all that. So I told you I want to talk about food. This is exactly why scripting would be better, but I'm just free falling, because you know what? I haven't chatted with you guys in a while. I also do not think I have any ability to actually edit this video, so we're just gonna go. I'll throw on some captions because I'm all about that. And aside from that, hope you forgive me as I chop my veggies. If you aren't following me on any other social media or on my email list, by the way, why aren't you on my email list? I'm a lot of fun. I've been a little bit hot and cold right now, because what I'm going to explain is going on in my life for all of you that I'm working on. But for the most part, I think I have a pretty good time on my emails. I do send out a bunch of emails. I'm trying to do daily emails. I might slightly change that master plan of mine because I'm exploring Substack. So I also started a Substack. I mean, what's new? Me starting new social media accounts, right? But it just kind of makes a little bit more sense for the way I'm a lot more long-winded than I am able to get things in a short, quick sentence. Anyway, so why I wanted to chat with you today is to talk about how do I manage my food when I'm struggling with the overwhelm. And there's a perfect storm sometimes when, at least for me, because also with my ADHD in the mix, in my luteal phase, so a couple days before my period, I especially towards late luteal, my estrogen drops, so my ADHD symptoms get a lot more significant. These are things I didn't know until I started tracking my cycle. If you haven't been tracking your cycle along with your symptoms overall, and I don't mean for weight loss purposes, though it is helpful to have everything captured, but I mean for if you at least capture it for how you're feeling. Gosh, I learned so much about myself. I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't know to do that any earlier than the last 6 months or so, but yeah, and that's kind of like how my life has been for the most part. What I share is because I learned the hard way about not doing it, and then the reality of it, and exposed to me, like what was really going on with my ADHD, and also exposed to me my really my confirmation about being in perimenopause, and actually how I feel that my really heartbreaking to watch video about me explaining and like admitting my ADHD because I could no longer mask it on YouTube 2 years ago, was me actually talking about how perimenopause was cracking my mask and my ADHD and making it very hard for me to manage taking care of myself because like in order to lose weight, there's a lot of executive functioning you need to do. You need to be able to plan your meals, prep the meals, cook the meals, and then do that again 3 times a day at least. And if you've got other people you're taking care of, add all those people and their preferences in the mix. And that's just food. You know, that doesn't even involve like, what are you wearing for the day? What are the kids wearing for the day? When are you going to exercise? Did you move enough? Like, and then work on top of it, right? Like there's a lot going on. So I've learned that like during the late luteal, especially, my executive functioning is very impacted. And so this morning I literally came down and I opened the fridge like 5 times. And that's for somebody who has like a planned emergency like protein plan, right? Like I know what my options are. Like there's actually cooked food in the fridge for these situations, but it was past that. It was to a point that I just like felt, I mean, I'm sure if you're listening to this, I'm assuming you understand. When you're just sitting there, you're just like, I feel like the energy it would involve for me to make something is so much higher than the energy I actually have. Like all the steps that are involved. So I want to share a couple things that I've been doing for myself, especially during like this time in my cycle and my menstrual cycle, along with like just life in general, especially when it's stressful and I have a lot going on, like what I'm doing to kind of help myself. So number one thing is I started just like having a snack in bed. This is something I did when I was pregnant as well, because I dealt with a lot of nausea back then as I do now. I don't deal with it as much unless I like take my shot in my thigh, but either way, I do still deal with like a low level nausea if I'm not eating. And so I started doing like a protein bar in bed, or I have a protein shake in bed, and this is not breakfast. This is just meant to be like a wake me up snack. And at first I was worried about like creating this like connection of waking up and food, but honestly, like I'm not worried about it because my reasoning for the food isn't like, oh, I'm absolutely craving it, but it's more like I'm taking care of myself, my body. By doing this preemptively, it's gonna help me be able to like function for the next few steps that I need to do. So that's been like so helpful to me to include that into my just like regular day. I've already planned ahead that those are the calories and the protein I'm eating. By planning ahead, I mean that very loosely because I don't count my calories still. But I don't like shame myself for having it, and I anticipate it. And then I come down here and it's still hard. It's still really hard, especially in this day and the next couple of days and the ones that passed. I'm dealing with the executive dysfunction a lot more, and just like the mental load of trying to figure it all out. And so what I did was, after I opened the fridge like 5 times, I decided, okay, I'm gonna make some hard-boiled eggs, which is what I'm doing right now. And I was like, I'm just gonna make it for the kids, okay? And for myself, obviously, because I need to eat breakfast. But while I was doing that, it takes some time to cook. And I decided, all right, let me just like cut up some vegetables. Maybe I'll saute it. Maybe I'll make myself an omelet in the same time period that I'm doing these hard-boiled eggs. I'm also not gonna only do 1 batch of hard-boiled eggs because my egg cooker has a thing for 6. I'm gonna do 2 darn batches, okay? I'm gonna take care of Ancia tomorrow by having this ready to go, because also the kids will have food ready. I also grabbed myself some like egg whites to add to my egg omelet. Hopefully I'm gonna make that right after this. And with the omelet, I'm gonna make at least 2 servings. Maybe I'll be nice to my husband and make 4 servings for all of us. just so we have breakfast for today and tomorrow, and then I can take off that like thought of what's for breakfast. And I highly encourage you to come up with a plan like that. I think that one of the biggest things that I've learned through my, well, there's a lot I've learned, right? I'm still learning every single day. But one of my biggest like struggles through my GLP-1 journey is like that constant decision, the decision fatigue. And we're making decisions non-stop. And some of them are so small and so unnecessary that I'm just like, what am I doing to myself? Why am I putting myself through this? And so I created myself like an emergency list. And you can do this for yourself. It's just a matter of like writing down on a piece of paper like some foods that you know you like, and you want to pick the foods that you like even on like a bad day, because sometimes the energy, you don't feel like you have enough energy because you feel as though you don't really want to eat it. That also does not help. You want to be motivated to put something together for yourself. So it's not like salads that are on my list. There's like a variety of different things that I know are easy or in my freezer because I, had more energy at a different time in the month, and I cooked ahead and just froze as much as I could, which again, that's why if I cook just for one time, I find it a waste. Any meal I cook, it needs to go at least 2 different settings of meals, because that means that I can at least save myself 1 extra day from the 1 day of prep. The best case is when I can do a whole week, but and if you don't know where to start with that, like I said, just grab a piece of paper and write down some breakfast options, some lunch options, and some dinner options that are in your freezer, in your pantry, like somewhere that you can just grab and go. And if you want something a little bit more structured, my GLP-1 playbook, I redid my plan. I don't think I've even been on here since I've redone it. And last month I went down the rabbit hole of fixing everything that I believe someone might want for no matter where they are in the journey. Originally, I had the stall strategy, which I've now updated into the GLP-1 playbook. The stall strategy was specifically focused for women who are already on the weight loss medication and are looking to come up with like a way to troubleshoot what they're experiencing, whether it's like a slow loss or actually a full-on stall. That part of the program is still within the GLP-1 playbook, but I've now created like a much more rounded experience. So it includes my lesson on like GLP-1 tips and tricks is what I call it, which is like everything. It's like me brain dumping all my knowledge about all the different things that you're able to do, all the different strategies that I use with my clients that I support through their GLP-1 journey. It actually starts off with what I call establishing baseline data. That part is regarding what do you actually want to monitor through your GLP-1 journey. So it doesn't matter if you're just starting, but of course it's always great if you have that information at the very beginning. But it also is just like anytime in your journey, most people are missing some really key things to be monitoring. And so symptoms that like flare up surprise them, right? Like constipation, oh my gosh, I didn't know I had to pay attention to that. So I kind of capture a little bit more about what I think are really good like milestones of capturing through your GLP-1 journey. I also like created this new weight and symptoms tracker in it, which is like super really cool actually. It's a Excel spreadsheet that allows you to like write in. It has a spot for daily, but what I suggest is you pick like 1 time a week to weigh in, and then the rest of the days of that week you just fill in the same number down, so it creates a graph from it. But I know I had to keep it at least the daily option there, because I know a lot of you out there are on the daily weigh-in train, despite my best intentions to try to sway you away from that experience. But yeah, it has the opportunity to do any of that. So that's part of the playbook as well. I don't think I even put that on the page to explain it, but yeah, I put that in there. And then when you like sign up for the playbook, you have like the add-on feature of adding on the food strategy, the GLP-1 food strategy that I created, which includes the Protein Made Easy. Gosh, I've changed all these names recently, so even I'm trying to remember them. And Protein Made Easy, which goes over like how to create a list of these plans to go to, like your recipes to go to. I also made a 7-day meal plan in there for that. So it's like 7 days of your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, what I personally love. So it's like, it's not like bland food, like just random chicken salad. It's actually like really tasty combinations that I use myself. The recipes that I use, I have them linked into the workbook as well. Yeah, there's like so many things in there. There's a weekly meal planning Excel sheet where you can plan the whole week of meals and you like drop down. I don't know why all of you don't have it. Like maybe because I don't talk about it ever. I'm really bad about that part. But yeah, if you're looking for some structure and like some answers, that is a really great place to start. I also don't think I said with the tips and tricks I go over like side effects and how to manage them. Oh my gosh, the egg is like on the top of the egg cooker. An explosion. So I go over side effects as well. And I know that tends to be a big question, especially it's from my experience, my research personally. And if you don't know, I've had every single side effect. I'm pretty confident of that, aside from the ones that are like would take me to the ER, right? Like I've never been that bad, but I've definitely had my personal share of these side effects. And I've noticed that sometimes you'll get information from people that just have truly not had to go through it themselves, like the nausea. So they'll just like say what they found on the internet, and you'll hear from me like exactly what I've done in my situation, including the hair loss that comes up a lot. It's getting a little bit better, but sleep. You need to sleep in order to make sure everything in your body is working functionally as well. Yeah, that is my super quick, speedy update. Gosh, I think I talked like faster than usual. And I haven't even taken my Adderall for the morning yet. But I wanted to just do this video to get a new YouTube video out because I know it's been a very long time. And you know, you get stuck in this whole perfectionist thing where you're like, I'm gonna do this whole thing perfectly, but I have no time for perfect. But I do have information I want to share and get out there. So I need to stop worrying about the perfect aspect and just move forward. So yeah, that's that. If you want to stay connected with me, get on my email list. Like that's the best way to be as like, you know, in there with me. You can always DM me on Instagram. I'm typically there when I'm not having my phone bricked, so I can't access the social media accounts so I could do the work. And there's a summit coming. If you want to know more about it, check out my Substack. That's kind of where I'm posting about it at the moment, just because I wanted like one space that I can kind of create a collection of this information. If you're interested in any of that information, I will probably drop the links somewhere in the description or the comments. And if you hung out, let me know a little bit about you. Where are you watching from? Are you actively on the medications? How many weeks or months has it been? And if you don't know that calculation, I actually have a free resource called my GLP-1 strategy answer guide. And in that, there's a calculator that includes like your progress so far in your weight loss journey, the number of weeks, the number of months. It'll like calculate like your rate of weight loss per week, per month. Anyway, it's for the data girlies like me who wanted to have all that information. I'll include that as well, and that will help you get on my email list and be a part of the group. So hope you're doing well. If you're watching and I'm not connected to you anywhere else, tell me what's going on, and catch you soon.